Welcome to Penny for a Tale. Tonight we are running episode 2 of our Static Dawn game by Frenzy Kitty Games. We are playing a homebrew setting of Silicon Zion. Before we get into the announcements for tonight's session, let's introduce our cast. And we'll start with Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. You can find me here for this game, for our Pathfinder stream, and for Scion, as well as Short Rest.
And who are you playing?
I'll be playing Cain.
Fantastic. And Sam.
Oh, cool. Hi, I'm Sam. You can find me here tonight and on Monday's other game, Star Wars, as well as this Thursday, Running Relics. It is the last episode in that series, so we're super excited. Yeah, and I'll be playing Tweak.
Fantastic. And Mr. Smith. You are muted, sir.
I am muted. I am Mr. Smith. You can find me here whenever I'm not trying to take over the world. Tonight I'll be playing Cameron.
Fantastic. So, as a bit of an announcement, this game, starting in October, will be running on Saturday nights. So we will be adjusting the schedule weekly, and we'll post more information on pennyforatale.com once everything is finalized. Tonight's session will be run in Roll20, and the music and ambiance for tonight's game is from Michael Gelfi. So now let's get into tonight's game. Now, you may notice that we have 2 new people that were not here last week, and that's fine. If you're confused, you should be. So, Cain, what do you remember of what happened last session?
I received a message about a job, and I hardly ever refuse them. Hawkeye Securities, I believe.
Hawkeye Surveillance, yep.
Surveillance, yep. But that's all I know so far, and I think I've accepted it.
So you've had a very eventful 24 hours between going and investigating an abandoned mine that had a weird tree in it, then being recruited to go to another mine to disarm bombs with the help of your friend Alfarius, and investigate the mine further with your friend Brian. You got paid both in credits, and you went to Hokkaido's, not Hokkaido's, that's a tattoo parlor. You went to Hamza's Game Palace and met up with an old friend that was taken away for re-education, but now she's back. She was having a bit of a meltdown. So you went outside to go through your ritual of the call-in when you've been asked if you have time for a job.
Right. So I stepped outside for the call because we left off at my apartment.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'll step outside
Okay.
to take it.
And you've got a pre-programmed number that you call. And Cameron, you've put in a request for Cain, and he's calling you back.
All systems active.
Please switch this one because it's a
sorry.
spaceship with commands.
Let's take the weather. I'm gonna pick up the phone though.
Yep. A couple of delivery trucks go by on their late night routes. since the buses are now less frequent. Cameron, you get a call.
Hello.
This is Cain.
Good you called. Is there someplace we can meet?
I have a few in mind. What is this about?
Lady B.
Say again?
Lady B.
Now you only just heard this name from Kate. The message that she just got from that old lady who bumped into her and dropped a data chip in her pocket. She signed that message Lady B.
Do you like pizza?
Not particularly, but I'll go anyway.
It's a good spot for this kind of work.
Sounds good.
I'll send you the address.
All right.
I'm assuming you're going to Dark Void Pizza?
Yep.
Okay, Dark Void Pizza is a little pizza place, kind of a family location, but as it's later in the evening, you've got more of the teenagers who have nothing better to do and are hanging out late at night on a Friday night, playing games and eating pizza with meat substitute pepperoni and stuff like that. The pasta sauce is dyed black, so all of the pizzas look like a scene from space. The tables are a little sticky, but it's more like the saran wrap that's on them as opposed to actual food substance.
Right. I imagine I'm closer, so I'll arrive first
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a couple of blocks away. Um, I'll dry off and set down my umbrella. I imagine when he arrives, he'll find me at a booth
Mm-hmm.
with some of this food.
You've frequented there enough that if you show up super late, they give you a booth far away from the games because they know how much you dislike it. Um, and so on the furthest corner back in the booth, you're sitting. They give you your usual pitcher of beer, really light beer.
Joke's on them. Cain likes light beer. You could water it down if you'd like. How long am I waiting before my contact arrives?
Cameron, you get the information and you pull up Kane's file. You don't have a picture, surprisingly, which maybe by design, maybe because Cain is one of the best. He refuses to be photographed or anything like that. It's a lot of information. He's actually got quite a track record. Um, so I would like you to make a persona check for me, please.
No.
Okay, yeah. You feel that panic once again when you get a little overloaded with information, and for a moment you forget what you're supposed to be doing. Do
Is
you
he
do
is
do
he
you
at the
do
location? Or no?
You were probably en route,
Okay.
and so you're at a bus stop and the bus is pulling up.
Pulling
do
up?
yeah, pulling up to the stop.
All right. He'll sort of look and get on the bus.
Okay. Do you have any kind of system to uh, counterbalance your short-term memory flaws that you were warned about?
Just a data pad, really.
Okay. Your data pad chimes when you're supposed to get off.
He gets off the bus, looks around, see if there's anything familiar.
You see a pawn shop. You see a couple of food stalls. You see uh, the start of the red light district and Dark Void Pizza.
He'll um he'll review the contact information that he had.
And you'll see the last text message from Cain is for Dark Void Pizza.
And he heads in that direction.
And when you go in, what does Cain see?
So walking through the door, tall, about 6'2", 6'3", dark black hair, kind of slicked back, lean, dressed in a fitted suit with a tie.
Um, so, Cain, you see this man who is about your height come through, but almost the opposite of you in just about every way.
Yeah. So, for context, Cain is large in pretty much all the dimensions he's not proud about. He's got these wild ears that are sort of pointed um, in less than ideal directions. He's portly. You could tell he's sort of wiggled his way into this booth. But he is very tall. He has no hair on his head and refuses to wear a hat. Um, but he seems pretty pretty charismatic and confident despite all of that. You see he is sliding a third empty dirty glass towards the end of the table, being his third beer at an establishment made for families. And he sort of looks up, but he won't speak because he doesn't like to call at the contacts like that.
Cameron will just scan the room to see if anyone takes attention to him walking in.
So, as you're sorting through everybody that you look at, kind of you ping with your onboard storage to see if anything comes up. No, no, no. But the person that you got a message from that brought you here was a male named Cain. So you can kind of filter that information. Give me a tech roll. Yeah.
Yes.
So doing a quick search, you find Cain. You don't really have anything other than a description, but this guy in the back corner does meet the description that you are looking for.
Cameron will sort of pinpoint just his jacket, walk over, and just slide into the seat across.
I have a phone. I'm going to slide it across the table and just show the contact anything that you would be able to recognize as your contact, being it like a placeholder username or something, but not the chat log. And I'm just going to slide it and say, and this is you.
Yep.
Excellent. How can how can we help you today?
So I intercepted some as Cameron stops and just sort of looks around. Anyone paying particular attention?
Give me an intellect roll, please.
On the money.
Oh yeah. Um, You look, there's a couple teenagers down at the skee ball who are giving you guys the eye, but you can't really. But as you watch them, they're more looking at the beer pitcher than the two of you.
Fair.
Other than that, nobody's really paying attention.
So there's distributors of a drug called Pikachu. They seem to be targeting a woman by the name of Lady B.
Why would they be charging her?
That I'm not sure.
Where can I find this Lady B?
I believe. One moment. Nomina's pawn shop? Sometime over the next few days.
A stakeout. Well, anything I need to know about these narcotics?
I don't know much about the drug itself. I do know that Nominus has been a bit of a hotbed for some mob activity recently.
Anything else I need to know about this Lady B?
No.
Well, what's our success criteria? Say she dies. What does that mean for payment?
That's not success.
Cameron, what you do know is that her body, if she does die, they cannot have her body. Like something weird is going on with this target, or with this threat, and they want her dead or alive, preferably alive.
Mm-hmm.
But you've noticed that people who have gone missing, there's been the scene of a murder, but no body.
Copy. Cameron doesn't mention that part.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll watch over the place. Look out for Lady B. When the mob comes to town, we'll be ready.
I know. I'll be with you.
Excellent. I hope you know my particular set of skills. I don't like to rush in.
All right.
You'll find me on a rooftop, some blocks away. I'm gonna open my phone and look at the map and sort of see if I can scan a 3D bird's eye view of the surrounding neighborhood by searching this Nominus pawn shop. Is there a good vantage point that I can identify?
Give me a tech roll.
All right.
Oh yeah. So the way that Silicon Zion is built up, especially in that area of the pawn shop, it's like layers upon layers upon layers of buildings. But there are usually spaces between outcroppings. So some buildings will go up and then out and over and up. And you notice that there are a couple of really good hiding spots that aren't owned by anybody. So those might be places for you to check out.
Here it is. I'm gonna zoom in on a spot. It's underneath. It's the lip of an I-beam on a building. It's very industrial. I point to it.
Yep.
You can hide there for a week. They'd never find you. What do I know about this pawn shop? What should I know?
Are you asking me or are you asking Cameron?
Cameron.
Okay.
The pawn shop in and of itself, I don't know much. Pawn shop like any other, save for the recent activity. I am aware that Lady B makes these rounds every few days for some reason.
One of the things that you know about Nominas is that they have doing a quick search of Nominas. Nomina F is how she's filed in your directory, and you have tracked a couple of acquisitions from her boutique for Hawkeye. So Hawkeye also likes to keep track of Nomina because she's been pretty good about getting acquisitions.
Fair. When do we leave?
When do we need to be there?
It's your show. I'm just here to verify.
Well, question is minimally, when do you think this will occur?
As I said, sometime in the next few days.
Then in 24 hours' time, I'll be set up.
All right. I'll meet you there.
So let's cut to Tweak real quick. Tweak, you are done with your last contract, and for fun, I assume that you scan the various close circuit camera networks, listen in for anything interesting, just to see what's going on. Is that about right?
Yep, gotta stay one step ahead.
Go ahead and give me a tech roll, please. Okay. So you're scanning through, and you hear on one side of town that the miners there's a group of miners who are having a meeting, and they're talking about going on strike. Something about the lithium mine, something's weird about it. Something weird happened that day when they went back after a safety drill. Then you switch over and you hear some people doing their uh having their meditation modules turning on, trying to become more one with the job gate through their technology. You switch over and you've got some kids being like, so you think they're gonna leave the picture? They might. And then we'll like go and we'll snag it real quick. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. But like, we can't let them see us. They're freaking huge. Yeah, yeah, and I think that one has a gun. They don't have guns out in the open. You don't know that. They might. They have them in the vids. And that particularly catches your interest because not a lot of people are armed uh, out in the open. You can zoom in to see the two strange individuals that they were talking about. These two very tall men sitting around a small table, talking quietly, looking at each other's phones. And you can zoom in just enough to see a map right over Nomina's. And you know Nomina. She takes good care of you. Whenever you get that itch. And honestly, you've been running kind of low.
Yep, time to make a trip.
Yeah. And you hear 24 hours. Meet me at this location.
Um, they're a little worried about this
Mm-hmm.
and would try to. Doesn't seem like they could zoom any further to figure out a way to access their phones and
It's
figure out
super
what they're hearing.
grainy. It's super grainy, and one of them is highly encrypted. Like it would take you a good 5 minutes to get into it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but was I able to see what was the map, like exactly where they were pointing at?
Not quite. It one of the arms kind of started to obscure it from view.
Okay. Um, yeah, Tweak would make a couple of quick notes um, on their phone and try to see if they could hack into a couple of the security cameras around Nominus
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get a view of the various areas around the building to see if they could see any different activity than what they know is normal around there.
Okay. Um. So you you
They'll
search
try to keep
around.
an eye out.
Yeah. You get through to a closed circuit outside of um one of the stores behind Nomina. Nomina herself does not keep a closed circuit system. She does not keep very much tech wired in her establishment other than just electricity. Um,
Mhm.
Not really sure why. She's a little paranoid. Um,
I'm fine with it.
you hear a motorcycle go by Cain, and you're like, it's not him. It can't get out the front door.
It can't be
um,
him.
so you're looking around. You notice that there are a couple of guys smoking out the back. Um, Very casual, just like they're chatting by the dumpster. Um, and you see somebody come out the back door and like give a quick nod and then walk with purpose away from the location, having a small something small in their hand. You're pretty sure somebody has just gotten a dose because it's pretty similar to what you feel like you need to do whenever you go in uh, for a dose.
Yeah, that's not as interesting. So they will sort of like throw whatever security cameras they can up onto a separate screen
Mm-hmm.
um, and watch the area for 24 hours. But I really need to get to Nominus myself, and I don't know if I could wait.
Yeah, give me a physique roll.
My best. Yeah.
Yeah, you make it about 5 hours, and you start to crash hard, and you wake up about 12 hours later with your arm your face on your arm and your PDA blinking at you, but it's on silent mode. It didn't wake you up.
Damn it.
And we're gonna cut to 24 hours later. Well, Cain,
Yeah.
you set up in your bird's nest.
Yeah, I'm sort of above and across from what looks like an old plant.
Mm-hmm.
Something run down. I wanted to be away from things so people couldn't triangulate
Mm-hmm.
the sound of a gunshot. My sniper's pretty quiet, but it's not that quiet. I've sent Cameron my location if he wishes to visit, but I expect he's probably going to make the trek up anyway because I'm far too far away from the actual location of interest.
And what kind of things do you bring with you for these kinds of stakeouts?
So I don't expect this one to be very long term, and I don't need to be well hidden. If this is anywhere after dark, I also don't need to be very well disguised. Um, I'm bringing mostly my weapon, um, a kit for recharging my phone, and that's about it. Usually, my friend Brian would bring something, but I didn't want him along on this one.
He's actually kind of preoccupied taking care of Kate. Um,
Oh,
this
that's
this
good.
this last panic attack, the warm milk didn't quite cut it, and so he brought her back to her apartment and has been staying with her, just to like give her some quiet but enough company so as not to get too much in her head. Um, Cameron, do you meet at the appointed hour?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hmm.
Cameron will be there. Um, Similarly, just bringing a firearm in case things go down. Otherwise, keeping it fairly simple.
Mhm. So to give you all perspective of what this looks like, you are in between the lip of one building above you. You've got a warehouse below you. There are still some very old connection wires that are going between buildings. They aren't very frequent. They've been moded out, and some of the companies just didn't see a reason to take down the old ones once the underground wiring was put into place. Um, so you've got those ropey wires just dangling or draped between the buildings. Neon lights of various colors. The days get dark relatively early, even though it's still pretty warm. It's still late summer, but because of the smog, um, you know, the sky is pretty gray and gross. Well, gross to us, meta. But for you guys, it's pretty normal. Um, and can I have both of you make intellect rolls, please?
Yes. That's a success.
Mm-hmm.
Fail.
Okay. Um, so Cameron, you're researching another case, and you're a little bit distracted. But Cain, you notice a you notice everybody who's coming and going. And at one point, you've noticed this lean, dark haired person um, looking around kind of squirrely going into Nomina's.
Mm.
Uh, give us a better description, Tweak.
Um, yeah, exactly as you said. They're tall, lean, sort of wearing very muted colors, a hoodie. One of those people that your eyes just sort of pass over, and it just almost seems purposeful in the way that they are as nondescript as possible. Um,
Mm.
Difficult to even tell their gender. They're just very plain, it
Yeah.
seems.
But unlike most people who, saunter by Nominas and they go, "Oh, look, there's something in the window that looks interesting." This person is like looking all around and then makes a beeline for the door.
Mm.
Um, do you do anything in response to that?
I'm gonna call up. I'm laying prone with my rifle. My optical camera does not have an optical zoom, just a digital zoom, so I have to record through the scope of my sniper rifle because I'm
Mm-hmm.
broke. But I'm gonna call up and behind to my new friend here, Cameron. I think we
Yes.
found our target.
Excellent.
Now, here's the trouble. I'm gonna look back. What's your weapon?
It's just a simple automatic.
That's not gonna be any good here. You're too far
Nope.
away.
Yep.
Why don't you head down? I'll keep an eye on you.
All right.
Before you do, come see this, and I'll scoot to the side, give you a chance to look through the scope.
Cameron will kneel down.
What do we see through the windows?
So you see several tchotchkes from all over the world. You see a kite. There are several long bolts of fabric that are very vibrant in color. And beyond that, you see Namada, who is a woman of Hindi descent. Um, Long black hair, a green sari, and she is talking to Tweak. And she says, "Hello, dear. It's good to see you. How have you been?"
I I need a shock now.
Oh, okay. Well, two deep breaths, and we'll go out back. I'll give you a small taster to tide you over. Um, and then I will give you my target and the full dose. All right.
They're sort of just like tapping their fingers very like quickly across the counter, and
Mm-hmm.
they sort of realize, oh,
No, go ahead.
um, realize themselves and try to move out of vision of the window,
Mm-hmm.
behind like a stack of some old crates that have been moved, but they're not as careful as they normally are.
Okay. So, Cameron, you watch as this woman who appears to be the proprietress um, moves this tall, jittery person through to the back. Um, a a crate of old vinyl discs gets knocked over on the floor, and you see the woman going, "No, no, don't worry about it." Um, and at that time, you see someone else coming up to the shop. This person you recognize as Lady B. She is wearing her typical paisley shirt, a long gray skirt, shock of white hair, um, and a disarming smile. Who comes in right as this person is ushered into the back and gives motions of, "Oh, don't, I'll take care of it. It's fine." Um, Make an intellect check for me, please. Very nice. So you notice as well movement on the side of the building, and you move Kane's rifle a little bit to get a bit more clarity. Um, and you see a couple of men dressed very nicely. Um, the suit jackets may be a slight too big for them, but they have noticed Lady B go inside, and they've been standing about. You haven't really noticed them doing anything. They've just been loitering. But as soon as Lady B went in, they perked up.
Cameron will step back away.
And I'll
Those are
scoot
two of our followers.
with a grunt, sort of look in. Well, yep, that'd be it. The reason I told you to mind the windows. And I'm gonna turn to the nearest neon sign. I hope there's one really close by.
There is there.
Good.
You can't there. You can't go 20 feet without a neon sign.
Excellent.
So yeah, there is one very close by.
If you look out the window and you see that sign, it means I can see you. It's not a good thing. I've got a trigger finger, and if shit gets bad, I don't want your head in my crosshairs.
All right. Where do you need me to go?
Go wherever you'd like, but just know you've got cover fire. And I'm just gonna sort of train my sight on this establishment.
Okay.
Cameron will
Go
work
ahead.
his way down from the perch, straighten up, dust off any debris that his clothes have picked up,
Mm-hmm.
straighten his jacket, and start walking towards pawn shop.
Great. Inside, Tweak, you've had your slight taste. Your eyes start to widen. They're not in tunnel vision anymore. You can breathe a little better. And Nomina hands you a an IP address and a number. You understand this to be a transfer that they want to have uh, done and hidden. And I will send you that after the fact. Um,
Um, just as
yes.
a addition, as he's walking, he makes note in his data pad of the two thugs that were watching Lady B.
Yeah. So the two men, one of them, is a player in a new sect of um, the mob. I haven't named them yet. I'm sorry, guys. So if anybody in chat wants to name our mob, go right ahead. Um, and uh, so that is a known person, but he's never been caught because of technicalities. The other
Mhm.
person appears to be some kind of relation to him. They both have a IO port, but it's really really shoddily done. There's a lot of scar tissue around it. It's kind of poking out like Frankenstein's creatures bolts.
Mhm.
um does not look pretty. um as you get closer, you notice that Lady B is helpfully uh, putting the vinyl back into its crate and placing it back, or getting ready to place it back where it was, but it seems a bit heavy for her. Um, so she's simply waiting for whatever is happening.
Uh, as Cameron walks in, he will simply nonchalantly kneel down and pick up the box.
Oh, thank you so much, young man. You're too kind. I believe it was sitting there.
He puts it back and just starts looking around.
And she will um she'll look around and say, so how many are outside?
Cameron will smirk. 2.
Hmm. Well, I was hoping I wouldn't have to use Beatrice today, but we'll see. And you can see her flash you her pocket and
Mhm.
notice that there is a pistol in there.
All right.
um Namina, I do have to get going, but I need to check in with you. Are you still, Cain, are you still watching through the scope?
Yeah.
No? Give me an intellect roll, please.
Intellect's very bad, so it's a
Okay.
fail.
All right. You're distracted by the guys who are moving in. There's now 3 of them. And they seem to have some kind of weapon that's not necessarily a gun. It's kind of pronged. And there seems to be a little electric current between them. It looks kind of like an oversized stun gun. Um, so it appears that they really want to take, based on this information, you can probably guess they really want to take her alive.
I'm gonna just without making any rash decisions. I'm gonna just make a phone call
Okay.
while staring down the barrel. Um, Cameron's on the receiving end of that.
Cameron, your PDA starts buzzing. Your IO, your HUD in your eye shows that it's Cain.
Answer the phone.
Feel free to fake
Hello.
this call if you'd like.
Everything all right?
Yeah, it looks like you've got company.
Hmm.
Everything going well?
So far,
Right.
just waiting.
Leave the call on if you can.
Um,
Just provide cover.
so, Tweak, you are now in possession of 2 doses of Pikachu, and you have a promise of additional payment once the transfer is completed that you can pick up next week.
Good.
Do you go back out the front or the back?
Um, Out the back. But I wouldn't tell her that I had heard things being said about her shop. I'd overheard it and sort of give her the minor details that I'm able to, which isn't much.
So you would tell her these things?
I would.
Okay.
Lady
Oh,
gets me my fix.
all right, dear. Come with me. You don't want to use the back door. And she'll.
Are you sure?
Trust me, dear. Going out the back door. With who is in my shop right now, the safest place for you to be is in the shop. So she will bring you out to the main shop, and will greet you. And I'll be with you in a moment, sir. Uh, Madam, if you are looking for uh, the manuscript that we were talking about before, I do have this copy here, and she points to an old manuscript, like it's yellowed with time. Or I can get you a print. Um, but this is an old song, and so having the print would actually be much cheaper and easier to order. This one takes a lot of care. And she says, well, I know, it's very prominent. Would it be possible to put it in a less conspicuous place?
While they're talking, Cameron will position himself to the far left of the front door,
Mm-hmm.
trying to be out of sight of anyone who comes in.
Gotcha. um Tweak, what are you doing?
Um, my flight senses are just screaming right now. I feel like, why isn't it safe to go out the back? I don't want to be stuck in the shop. So
Okay.
they're just trying to make themselves small.
Are you going to be trying to leave?
Um, First they're going to try and just sort of inconspicuously on their PDA look again through the security cameras in the neighboring area and
Mm-hmm.
just see what is going on outside so that they can kind of plan their escape route.
Okay, can you give me a persona check, and Cameron, give me an intellect check? Okay. Um, so you
Fail
are
for me.
still coming down from the initial hit. So you're not as conspicuous or you are not as inconspicuous as you would hope. Cameron, you notice that this person who Namina just brought out from the back room is looking through their phone at what you can easily tell is security footage. You can piece together that it's probably from the surrounding buildings.
Anything of interest in the footage?
So as they're looking through, there is the electronics store across the way that's showing the three men coming up to the door. Going around the back, there are 5 men at the back. And there are a couple more going up higher, looking for something that's very close to where Cain is, but not currently finding him.
So is that 10 people total?
There's 3 in the front and 5 in the back.
8 plus the 2 others?
Nope, there's instead of 2, there's now 3.
Oh, gotcha.
They've moved from the side to the front, and then there are 5 people out back.
All right. Cameron will text on his phone to Cain, 7 thugs.
Are you purposefully saying 7 or?
Texting 7.
Okay, but there are 8.
Oh, 8. Sorry. I can't count, apparently.
I'm gonna wipe the rainwater off my phone screen to read the message. It's sort of just look at my long range gun, like, uh-oh. I hope I've got enough ammo for this.
Tweak, what do you usually carry for self-defense?
Well, to this, just a pistol.
Okay.
She does not like this. They don't like this at all.
Namina kind of looks at you and looks at Lady B and says, "I'm sorry, dear. It looks like we're going to be interrupted." Lady B turns around and says, "Beatrice will take care of that." The door flies open, and the 3 thugs come in. They've got their large, it looks like a shotgun, but with an electrical current in front of it. And Lady B pulls up her pistol and fires it in their face, and it's a flash grenade. Tweak and Cameron, please make combat rolls.
Do I see a flash?
You see a flash.
Lovely.
If you were looking through your scope, it kind of hurts.
Yep.
Okay. So, Tweak, you are momentarily blinded. Cameron, you didn't know what was coming, but you ducked anyway. And so did Namina. It takes a couple of seconds for your eyes to readjust, and you look up and you hear, "What the fuck she go? She was just here. Namina, what'd you do?" And they point the shotgun at her. She was here, and then there was a flash, and now she's gone, and I don't fucking care what you want to do, but she's my customer. We have an agreement, so get out, or I burn your shit. There's a little bit of a tense moment between the thugs and Namina.
Do I see not the thug? Do I see Cameron?
Do you see Cameron? Cameron, what is your reaction now that you can see again?
Ken was originally trying to stay out of the way so he could assist in an ambush when they entered, so he's probably not at the window. And the flashbang, I don't think would have changed that. It may have actually heightened. He would have been gotten further back into the corner or wherever he was.
Do I see any of the thugs?
You see two of them in the doorway. One appears to be further in, and they're all looking around very confused. Give me an intellect roll.
Bad fail.
Okay. So that's really, you're still wiping the after shadows from your eye,
Yep.
trying to see what's going on. The guy with the shotgun looks at Namina, says, "This isn't over." And she looks at him, goes, "Oh, believe me, I know. And I know your brother's going to be very upset that you hassled my customers." And he huffs. And then he looks at Tweak. And he looks at Cameron. None of this happened. If this happened, well, you won't be around to tell anybody.
Cameron immediately looks at Tweak. What's your name?
I'm not even here.
Yeah, you are. You're on the floor.
I know, but that's what they say.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So they say, "I'm not even here." See?
All right, I'm not even here. Follow me.
Oh.
I'm gonna call
this
Cameron.
guy's larger.
Cameron, did you hang up the phone from your original call from Cain? Or did you keep the phone open?
Well, it was just a text before.
No, it was a phone call. He called you.
Oh, that yeah. In honesty, probably not.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So your phone buzzes again.
Call back.
Keeping an eye on Tweak. He'll answer. Hello.
Do you leave flash on your camera? That's bad sleuthing. Yeah. Everything okay?
Be out in a moment. Watch the thugs.
Leave the phone call. Tell me to fire. Their heads will start popping.
Will do.
I'm just gonna set it down.
He leaves the phone on as he returns it to his pocket. Look at it, Tweak. Come on.
You two should stay in the back for a few minutes. Let them cool their heels.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
Their thing. Yeah.
Cameron will start walking that way and grab Tweak by the arm.
Tweak, do you go with him?
Yes. They like fight it for a moment, but they know that they're not going to win this.
Namina will follow you shortly, taking what the big parchment document off the wall that she and Lady B were talking about, and place it in the back room, and just says, "I'll let you know when they're gone. I'm sorry you had to see that." And "Dear," she says to Tweak, "you know where things are and where things should be. Make sure they stay that way for me, okay?"
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And she closes the door to the back room, and you hear muffled arguing between two very big personalities. One guy who thinks he's bigger than he is, and one woman who knows she owns the place. And it's glorious, but I can't do that one-man show, so I'm not going to. But it's glorious, and she obviously has the higher ground because of something. Tweak knows what it is. But yeah. Cain, from your vantage point, you see the two guys that were standing in the door. They go back to their truck, kind of heads low, like how the hell did this old lady get one up on us? But also just kind of leaving their boss to go and spew vomit at this woman. Word vomit, that is. Anyway, what are you all doing?
I'm
Once Karen gets back in the back room. All right, person who's not there, work your magic. Where's the other woman? I saw your phone. Find her.
You're talking about.
You're connected to the cameras. What happened to her?
At this, Tweak will hold out their hand as though they want some sort of payment.
There's currently a job being run. You'll get a portion of the payment once it's all said and done.
I'm gonna
I don't know
scoff at
you.
I'm gonna scoff at the sky above when if I hear that over from the phone in his pocket. That's upsetting to hear for
Uh,
somebody like Cain.
Tweak, make an intellect roll. Let's see if you hear that. No,
That
you
was a
don't. You
6.
don't hear that.
Not at all.
But you're holding out your wrist where you've. I'm assuming you're wearing gloves, or are you not
I
wearing
am
gloves?
wearing gloves.
You're
yeah.
wearing gloves, so you're holding out your gloved wrist as transfer credits.
When the job is done, you will get your share.
Well, I don't care about this person, and I don't know you, so I'm gonna head out then.
Just so you know, the people in that room will blow up this building if they have to.
That gives them pause. Sort of the best, most convenient place for them to get what they want.
Your Nomina friend out there might be able to hold this group off, but they will come back to find her.
So this person doesn't seem to know who I am. So Tweak will pull out their phone and, their back still sort of turned to this individual and start looking at the cameras for that sort of fluffy white hair.
So give me a tech roll, please.
Let's do roll. Oh my God.
Oh,
So
The only time a 20.
I know the only time a
Can I
20 would
use?
suck. You can use a
Yeah.
determination and
Yes,
re-roll it.
please.
Okay. So I'll remove the determination. You do the roll.
That's better. That's a critical
That
success.
is a critical success. So you scroll back through the front entrance because that seems like the most logical place where she would have gotten through. And you go out 2 blocks, 3 blocks, and you happen to notice a bus going by with that same lady with a shock of white hair, just sitting, going on the bus, further away, leading to the north side of town.
Excellent. They'll record the bus number, license plate number, and then start pulling up like the transit routes.
Sure.
See where that bus exactly is, like each stop that it will let off along the way.
Great. Um, there's a siren that goes by. Cain, you notice that there was a lightning strike nearby that had lit something on fire. So it adds a little bit to the chaos, but what do you tell them now that you've recorded all that information?
Um, I'll sort of look back over at this individual and say, give an advance on any of that payment.
What was the total for the job?
The total for the job was 50 credits.
Pass over 10.
Excellent. Yeah, they'll tell, kind of like transfer the information over to this individual, bus routes.
So you touch phones and the information starts loading on your HUD. Give me a tech roll, please. I'm sorry, a persona roll, Cameron.
Tweak is pretty proud of themselves.
As they should be.
Ooh.
No, that's good. So you're takes you a minute. Take a deep breath, but you're able to get the information and remember where you are. What does it look like when you uh, feel like you're on the edge but don't actually have a misfire?
So Tweak sees as the data gets transferred, his hand around the phone, the grip tightens, pretty clearly actually, and you see that same sort of muscle tension just travel up the arm, and his body just tenses up, and see him clench his teeth as he tries to stretch his shoulders a bit. He takes a deep breath. It's less than a minute, but there's clearly a process going on.
Okay. So you put together that she is on a northbound bus heading toward the outskirts of town, toward a more friendly zone. Um, Tweak, can I have you make an intellect check, please?
Yes. Faster.
Oh, beautiful.
2 crit successes.
So you happen to hear something that makes your ear prick up, and so you move closer to the door. We didn't want to hurt her. We just needed to give her some information. It's not like we were going to kill her or anything. We had that out so that we could get more eyes on her. I don't care what your intention was. It's my store. I say what happens here. You can fuck off. Well, look, just give her this, okay? God, I hate dealing with you. And he storms out, slams the door behind him. The glass kind of cracks, but doesn't shatter. And that's what you hear.
When the conversation sort of started that interested them, they would have tapped their ear and started recording it
Sure.
into their memory.
Yep.
We'll play back later.
So you notice,
Oh.
Cameron, that this person has gone toward the door at one point and just completely ignored you for a minute and just like leaned closer.
Is everything all right out there?
Slam! The door outside closes. Everybody hears it. Cameron, you see it, and he's huffing off toward his car.
Probably a good enough
Person who's
answer for
not
you.
there, is everything all right out there?
I can't see through walls. Can you see through walls?
No, but maybe you can hear.
You didn't pay for me to hear for you. I gave you the information.
All right, then. As he opens the door to head out, back out.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Was there anything that you actually wanted here? I'm so sorry about this incident. 50% off whatever you would like from the store. Um,
No, as he walks out.
I see. Well, thank you for your time. Have a pleasant day.
I don't like him.
There are tons of people like him all over the city. Honestly, I
So
think he's
smug.
one of hers.
The
But
white-haired lady?
yes, she's sweet and has connections all over the city. She's someone worth knowing.
Hmm.
But anyway, dear, um, send me a communication when that bit of business is done, and I'll have it delivered to you. All right?
You're the best. You
I
can go
do
follow this
try.
other guy.
I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Oh, all right. So, what are you all doing?
Cameron's heading back to Kane's position, making sure he's not getting followed as best he can.
Cain, what are you doing?
Also trying to make sure he's not being followed.
And Tweak, what are you doing?
Following him.
Okay, so Tweak, let me have you make make a physique check. I feel like this would be more physique. No.
Nope.
So Cain, what you notice is well actually Cain and Cameron both give me an intellect check, please.
Tweak isn't very stealthy.
Oh.
They're just kind of
It's a fail.
skipping along.
All right, but
Or wait, no.
nope, you both succeed.
Oh, sweet.
But Cameron succeeds excessively.
Ah,
Critically even. Um so Cain, as you're walking, uh you hear behind you the splash of feet in puddles, but they're very shallow. You can hear them scurrying from one awning to the next, to the next.
Cameron's going to overshoot the position and find a spot to the classic around the corner and wait move.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So Tweak, you see him turn a corner.
he's out of my line of sight now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I mean, Tweak is a homebody.
Mm-hmm.
The following that I've seen in the vids. So that's what they do. So now I'm gonna go around that corner, sneaky, sneaky like, and
And then you're nose to nose.
With a gun.
that's nice. Um,
Are we ready to have a conversation?
yep.
All right. What's your name?
Tweak.
I'm Cameron. Why are you following me?
You got money.
I do.
What do you want with the fluffy lady?
I
White
thought
hair.
it didn't matter to you.
Well, I mean, you can't even follow a bus route. You must need some help. Seems like some steady employment.
Are you looking for a job?
I mean, if you're offering.
Are you asking?
No.
All right.
You want to put your gun away?
Not yet.
Is your phone still open?
Yeah.
Kane, you hear all of this.
But I don't see
What
any.
did you hear?
In the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I transfer the conversation for you, are you going to freeze up again?
Are you going to give it to me or not?
Sure. They're going to transfer the audio recording that they had done of the phone call, but they're also sort of going to boost it, almost like a surge, just to see what happens.
Okay. Give me a tech roll. Cameron, give me a persona roll.
Ooh.
So let's see what the tech roll looks like. Oh yeah. All right. So you boost it maybe a little more than you intended to. Cameron, you get the recording and you're trying to pay attention to it as you're listening through. But then there's like an electrical static in the background. It's making it really hard to concentrate. It kind of hurts your eyes.
His eyes begin to roll back as the tendons on his neck are visible. It is akin to a seizure, but he's clearly trying to fight it. So it's not completely out of his control per se, but it does cause the gun to drop to his side as he focuses.
And you back up to a wall. And the wall is steady. You can breathe through it. And you remember that there's a person you were just talking to that gave you something. Something that was important to you and Cain, but can't fully remember the context of it. You just know you and Cain were sent here to protect Lady B. Something happened. And now there's this person in front of you.
He raises his gun again.
During that, they would have tried to get the gun if they were able to.
Okay, make a combat roll, please. Cameron, are you gonna fight if they try to take the gun?
Yes, if he can.
Okay, then also give me a combat roll, please.
All right.
So Tweak, you reach for it, but Cameron, your reflexes are sharp. You see somebody reaching for your gun, you pull it back and then put it back in
Yeah,
the face. In
it's
their
this
face.
weird mixture. He pulls it back while palming his hand to your chest to push you away, with the leftover seizure. It's a little harder than maybe intended, but yeah, the gun immediately snaps back up again.
And because of that, you hit a garbage can. So Cain, you see the lid of a garbage can roll out of that alley that they turned down.
Tweak probably just like stumbles back and falls down on their ass in a puddle.
Yep.
Knocks that garbage can.
Can I
That
see
was
them?
unnecessary. Why are you following me?
I already told you why.
Right.
You see that you've had a recent recording transferred to you. You can try listening to it again.
I'll go ahead and play it.
Okay. There's no charge behind it this time, so you're
Hmm.
able to hear the conversation that was picked up. I didn't want to hurt her or anything. I had information for her and the people that she knows. I don't care. You came to my shop, and so that all plays for you.
There was something they had left. Is that correct?
Correct. They left something with Nomina
Right.
for Lady B.
Right. He's still looking at her. He looking at Tweak. He puts the gun away,
Yeah.
and just walks past her back to the pawn shop.
And Tweak is very androgynous, so just so that we are
Ah,
clear,
fair.
it
Walks
is not.
past them.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So you're heading back to the shop,
Yeah.
Cain. Do you do anything in regards to all of this that you've heard and slightly seen?
I've not been told to shoot.
Okay.
My payment is not at risk at this point, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting the events unfold.
Tweak, this guy just pushed you into a corner. You had to repeat yourself a little bit, and then he turned back toward the pawn shop.
This guy's interesting. I'm gonna follow him.
Are you trying to be sneaky about it this time or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Gets up. Uncomfortable and wet, but I'm gonna follow him.
Yep. Okay.
As they're following him, is there just wondering if I could hack this guy? There's something visible. Maybe
Well, Cameron, do you have any of your augmentations visible?
No.
Okay.
why does he think
Honestly,
that?
you don't really have your rig with you either.
Yeah.
You would have a way more control if you did.
Let's take a couple pictures.
Okay. You get back to the pawn shop, and Namina is putting tape on the cracked glass, and sees you come in and opens the door for you. Yes, dears. Did you leave something?
There was something for B that they left.
Oh, I see. You're her detail.
Yes.
Hmm. One moment, and she goes back into the back room for a couple seconds, comes back out with a small box, and it's got a seal on it, inlaid. It's got a sun behind a house, and she puts a USB chip in it, closes it, hands it to you.
Takes it, puts it in his jacket, nods to her, and leaves.
Tweak, are you still following?
Pulling out his phone.
Uh-huh.
Pack up. We're taking a bus.
I'm gonna look at a rifle that's about half my height.
You've walked around town with your rifle before, though.
All right, we're doing it.
You have a specific bag for it, so
It's just shaped like a rifle.
it is shaped like a rifle.
It's a strange guitar.
I want to reiterate, this was part of your introduction to the character, that nobody messes with you when they see you walking around town with your bag that's shaped like a rifle.
That's true. Yeah. Ugh, until somebody does. That's what I'm worried about. Now that we've angered the mob.
And he'll go to Cameron will go to near Cain's perch and just wait on the ground and look at Tweak. Will you be following?
Maybe.
Will you be participating?
It's a pain.
It's getting close to 9 o'clock at night. A lot of places have closed down. Nominus closes. You're starting to get hungry, Tweak,
Yeah.
but you
How much
probably
time
have.
has passed?
It's been about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Two
So as
hours
Tweak
since you
is
left
down.
your apartment. Um, but yeah.
Hmm. Been a little bit of time. Tweak will reach into their pocket and pull out this little metal looking case, flip it open, and pull out two strips.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one they put in their mouth and just wait a moment, and then the other one um, that chases it, um, they get a little bit more perky,
Mm-hmm.
eyes get wider, and some of the fidgeting seems to stop.
Um, Cameron, make an intellect check, please.
I was going to ask, what are those the signs of? Ah, nothing.
I will remind everybody that you have determination points. You can spend them.
That's fair. Yeah, why not?
All right,
Oh, all
there you
right.
go. So you notice that Tweak's eyes go a little big. They flash green a little bit, and they take a deep breath, and they seem both to relax and be more alert at the same time. You've heard a little bit about what Pikachu does. It's supposed to make people more efficient, um, and much more uh, much more able to be more productive. More productivity means more creativity, means more innovation, means closer to the evo or to the job gate. So it can be a religious experience, or it could just be I want to be more efficient, and therefore I want to have some substance to help me with it.
The first one
Camera
is
eyes are
food.
up. Camera eyes them up and down.
The green in their eyes starts to die down very quickly.
How long does it last?
The food?
Yeah, the food.
I mean, how often do you need a snack?
Oh wait, did you take your food supplement or did you take Pikachu?
Food supplement first, then Pikachu.
Okay.
Proper order.
Hmm.
Question is, how often do you need to eat?
Well, maybe 2 to 3 hours. Totally assuming he's talking about the food supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Want some?
No.
So,
While waiting for Cain, he'll make a note about this person he doesn't know the name of and potential Pikachu addiction.
Mm-hmm. Cain, you arrive just as that note is being made. What do they see? Tweak has not seen you before.
You see a man about as tall as your friend Cameron here. He's bald. He's got a fat, wide nose, strange shaped ears, a beautiful set of teeth, though, and a nice smile. He's carrying a bag that doesn't look like any instrument you'd recognize. You might know right away that it's a sniper rifle.
You would not
Um,
know right away that it's a sniper rifle.
Okay. Some other people giving me strange looks probably know right away what it might be. Um, but we'll bribe that bridge when we get to it. He's got a bit of a gut, and he uses it to remain jolly.
But I recognize him as the guy sitting across from him 24 hours earlier at the.
I mean, you can put the pieces together, but you don't actually recognize him because it was too grainy. You were more focused on the map
Mm-hmm.
than on the people.
Interested. Who you're
He's
waiting for?
Yeah,
Bus.
Bless
bus. As Cameron makes his way to the bus stop.
I'll follow.
Okay.
That's
Are
a
we
puppy.
able to take a short break?
Yeah.
All right. So we will be back in just a couple minutes. Hang out. We'll be right back.
We're back.
All right. And so thank you very much for your patience. We are back with Static Dawn Silicon Zion. Our new compatriots have just watched an old lady outsmart a small gang of, well, wannabe mobsters, it sounds like. Um, and now they are trying to catch up with her to deliver a package or a message or something. Um, so you catch the next bus heading northbound. Um, Tweak, you were able to pick up the route, but you really didn't track where else she was going. Um, Cameron, give me an intellect roll, please. Okay. You know that she has 6 or 7 places that she generally checks, but you're not able to put together where her next stop would be for the day. Those places are Trixie's Tattoos, um, Nomina's Pawn Shop, which you've already been to, Maricore Designs up towards the Mesa axis, and a couple of nondescript homes of people who are either retired or people who make a distinct effort not to be in the system.
Hmm.
So it was just wanted to make sure I had the locations. Trixie's, Nomina, what designs?
Maricourt Designs.
Maricourt.
It's an upscale clothing store.
Which one of these locations was north from Nomina's?
So north from Nomina's would be the Maricourt Designs and Trixie's Tattoos. Um, do you tell your compatriots any of this?
Um,
Or
did
do
the
you think out
logs?
loud?
Yeah, did the audio logs that he had received after his memory issue,
Mm-hmm.
did he recognize that they had come from his newest compatriot, or is he able to make that connection?
Yes, you
Oh
have
wait,
a
he knows that they provided him the bus route, right?
correct.
Oh, perfect. That'll work fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll look at Tweak. I need you to analyze some data. Are you willing?
Okay. And they hold out their hand.
And he'll transfer the 2 locations, or
Mm-hmm.
the 3 to include nominas.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please figure out which one she's going to, Trixie's AmeriCorps?
Yeah, she'll bring up the different maps and locations close to the bus routes.
So
Start looking.
the bus route does go to both of them. Go ahead and give me an intellect check, please. Oh yeah. But what you know is for this time of night, the only place that would be open would be Trixie's Tattoos.
Makes sense. Your friend like getting tattoos?
Got it. Thank you. We're right into there.
Does he normally like this? He like looks at this other friend that's been following this guy.
I'm sort of just hugging my carry-on on this bus
Yeah.
between my legs.
There aren't too many people on the bus. So it's not a it's not a huge risk. But Cain, you do hear tattoos.
My shoulders are going to drop. I'm going to roll my eyes a little bit. I'm going to pull up a contact on my phone and then just lock. I'm going to dismiss it. Yep. We'll try the parlor.
Okay. And you know that Trixie's Tattoos is where Hokkaido works.
Right.
Yep. So you pull up and it's a bit more of a nightlife scene. There are a few bars. There are a few karaoke bars, so you hear people singing really badly, coming out of some of the windows, and then out of one, you hear somebody actually doing a really good rendition of "I Will Survive," and kind of impressed. But Trixie's Tattoos is a parlor. The neon sign has a pair of fairy wings on the outside. And you can hear the buzz of the tattoo guns going and some muffled talking between artists and their clients. There's only two people getting tattooed, and there's somebody behind the counter as you go in. Behind the counter, there's a gentleman who is in his late 30s. He's about 5'11", has dreads, dark skin, has a visor over his eyes. And says, "Hey guys, we're not taking any walk-ins today, but if you want to take a look around, we can definitely do a consult if you're looking for that."
Have you seen the lady?
We see a few ladies. You had to be a little more specific.
Older woman. Shock of white hair.
From the back, you see a bigger man of Japanese descent stand up and look at you, and then look at the person that he's talking to. "What do you want?"
I have a delivery.
He bends down and listens for a minute, and then you see Lady B emerge. "Oh, hello, dears. Why don't you come on back? Are you sure they're okay?" "Oh, don't worry, Hokkaido, it's fine." And they bring you out back to the back room. "You said you have a delivery for me."
And he reaches into his jacket and pulls out the book, I believe it was, yeah?
It was a box.
Box, all right.
"I see. And this is from..."
The uninvited guest earlier, I believe. Back at Nominus.
She frowns a little and opens it. "I see. Well, that is interesting." And she pockets it. And you all made it out all right?
Yes.
All right. I shall have to change my route again.
It's recommended.
If you wouldn't mind relaying a message to Home Office. The sun also rises.
He'll key that into his phone pad.
Yeah. You'll get a response back from Home Office. Received. Well, I wish you all a very pleasant evening. I still have business to conduct here. That is, unless you have other things you would like to inquire about. She looks at Cain specifically. "You have some interesting friends, young man."
Some frequent this place.
"Yes, I noticed."
It's hard not to. Wyke's a bit of a madman.
"And your other friend is also a very kind person. Is she all right?"
Oh, she's fine.
That's all I wanted to hear. If she doesn't contact us, that's fine, but I just want to know that she's safe.
Should I deliver a message?
No. If I don't hear from her, I don't hear from her. That's her choice.
I'm gonna look over at some of the ink
Mm-hmm.
on display.
So there's the different varieties depending on the different artists. So each artist's area has their work framed around. So are you looking at Hokkaido specifically, or are you looking at some of the others?
I'm trying to find one that I recognize from
Okay.
Brian's
So
massive array.
you're looking around the there are a few screens that have like a photo gallery that's going by every few seconds. And you look 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden you see an arm you recognize. And it has geometric shapes going up to the elbow uh, that have that optical illusion of could it be that the squares are popping out or are they going in?
Hmm.
Um, Mixed with some circuitry designs that go around to the front. And so it's like a three-piece picture showing the full quarter sleeve. Um, and you recognize that as Brian's. You've seen it very many times working on his bike on your couch in your living room.
I spy something I recognize. I'm gonna take a picture with the camera in my face.
Yep.
I hope to
Um,
torment him with that later.
oh, yeah.
Um, but perhaps I'd like to get one that matches. He'd
Oh,
hate that.
I don't do uh, exact copies. I can
Hmm.
do one similar for you. But all of my designs are an experience.
Hmm.
It's a bit it's a bit deeper. And as you can see by my tools, he unlike um the rest of the booths, he only has sticks and with needles attached to them. He does not have a gun, a tattoo gun.
Kane's got a bit of a look of disgust on his face, actually, upon that revelation.
You actually remember Brian coming home feeling super relaxed from this experience, from the several sections, and it's like he came home from a spa. But he also had raised red skin because new
Yep.
tattoo.
Mm, I might have to pass. Thank you, though.
All right.
You hear me
Okay, I'm
mutter
gonna look
under.
at.
Sorry, go
Okay, I'm
ahead.
gonna look at Lady B.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need that data transported?
No, no. I know who it's for. Um, I may have need of you specifically. As if this information is what I think it is, well, the less people who know about it, the better. Now, you, dear, I haven't seen you before. She looks at
Huh?
Tweak. Are you new to this arrangement?
Could say that.
Hmm.
She's like, they're trying to, was trying not to be noticed. The entire time, um, I don't even know Mr. Smith's character's name.
Cameron.
Cameron. I don't think, oh yeah, he did
No, you.
introduce himself. Never mind.
Yeah.
The entire time Cameron and Lady B were talking, Tweak was recording the conversation
Mm-hmm.
for later research.
Okay. Um, can you all make an intellect roll?
Hey, rare success.
Okay. You notice that Lady B had her hands in her pockets the whole time. And there was a slight movement um, once you all approached her and started talking. Um, and as she leaves, there's a movement in her pocket again. Hokkaido, dear, I'm afraid we'll have to reschedule, but I will be in touch. Take care, dears. I will reach out to you soon. And she takes her she takes a cane that you didn't notice that she had before and heads out. Don't worry, dears, I'm just going home. No need to follow me further. Have a good night.
Cameron will look to Cain and hold out his wrist.
I'll hold out my wrist as well.
25.
What was the deal?
And turn to Tweak.
Yep.
And another 10.
I don't know how good this arrangement is, but okay.
Okay. Are you all heading your separate ways? Are you going to what are your plans? The rest of the night is yours.
Tweak. Are you a freelancer?
Could say that.
Well, if you can leave some of that greed behind, perhaps we can make use of you.
Greed. I mean, they'll glance down at your stomach, back at you. Yeah, I mean, person's got to eat.
I know it well. Well, you see, where I come from, we take a job, the payment's agreed upon. There's no negotiation after the fact. That said, I have plenty of work. You seem like you need it.
So are you asking me? I would like
I'm offering to
help.
keep in touch.
Offering. Yeah, keep in touch.
I will send them my contact information.
All right.
Um,
Tweak,
I'm
you
gonna
have
look.
2 new contacts.
I'm gonna look back at the mundane old world tech
Mm-hmm.
tattoo setup, and I'm gonna curse something under my breath before I leave. Back to the bus stop.
Don't mock it till you try it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You get outside and a bus goes by, splashes you all with water.
That was our bus.
Yeah, you know. Tweak, do you check your recording equipment?
yeah, I mean, if water just splashed me, I'm sure.
You notice that the last 10 minutes are completely blank. The last 10 minutes of recordings are completely blank.
I am not happy. I, they're gonna look at Cameron. So, were you not trying to kill that lady?
The lady? B? No.
Huh. Okay.
Were you?
Do I look like a killer?
Do I?
Mm-hmm. Um, I'm gonna go this way now.
Thank you for your help.
They now look a little skittish of this guy since the thing that's like plain in their mind is that people that like just that last conversation with Lady B about this data stick and needing to make sure people don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know anything. That guy's gonna kill me.
Mm-hmm. You start walking, and Cain, Cameron, you realize that you're all going the same way because you're on the far north of town. So it's that awkward bye, and then you're all going the same direction.
Right.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
It's a big city.
It is. You'll eventually, head your separate ways, get on your separate buses. Is there anything else you all want to do before parting ways for the night?
Cameron will look to the two of them. Thank you both.
Don't mention it.
I won't.
I'm gonna send a message to my friend Brian, but mostly to myself for later.
Mm-hmm.
All it's going to say, in quotes, the sun also rises.
Okay. The fuck, dude. That's what he says. I'm still at Kate's. Don't eat the weird cricket flower, 'cause it's gross.
I'll leave him on red.
Yep. So yeah. The next day, Cameron, you get um a request from home office. It's a search and rescue. And it specifically says attached contractors Cain and Tweak.
Is there a picture of either of them?
Of Cain or Tweak?
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right.
Well,
go
so
ahead.
yeah. There is information attached that is encrypted 3 times over, and it's an encryption that if you tried to unencrypt it, it would take you at least a day. You have a feeling you might know somebody who would be able to help you out with that.
I know someone, but I can't place their name.
Yes, you can, because Cain said it out loud earlier.
Ah, fair enough.
After the fact. I was listening.
Oh, he'll contact Cain.
Cain, you get a message from Cameron.
Cain speaking.
Fine Tweak. Black Void Pizza.
That was fast.
He hangs up.
Colin Tweak. Actually, I didn't get Tweak's information. I sent Tweak my information. So I guess I will be eating over-processed cricket protein, non-perishable snacks until Tweak messages me so I can reach out to them.
Okay, Tweak. So you got home, presumably went to bed, or didn't, depending on.
First. Oh, sorry.
Tell me what you did.
How much of that 10-minute conversation were they able to remember? Because they would have tried to transcribe it if they hadn't been able to record it.
Give me a persona check.
I know that's my worst
I know. But you rely so much on your tech. But you are
Oh, hey.
able, yeah, remember, rolling low is good. You are able to remember the sun also rises. You remember there was some weird talk about tattoos and that I don't even remember what I said. I'm sorry, guys. You're able to remember bits and pieces, and I will send you a better transcript after the fact. Thank goodness for streaming. That's all I have to say. So you put together that she is probably part of a group that has been whispered about on the darknet, but moderators of any forums that bring up the Evo gate delete the messages um, within 2 hours. That's the fastest time. Uh, the Evo gate, what you know of them is that they are looking into renewable energies, going back to the original founding principles of Silicon Zion. The other thing that you are that you notice is that doing those searches, you have phishing bots following you. So you have to cover your tracks very quickly in order to not be tracked.
Yeah. Um, so I guess that night Tweak would not sleep. They would sort of just take another hit,
Mm-hmm.
um, and do whatever research that they can do about this lady bee,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of go down that rabbit hole because this is interesting. This isn't, this is something to figure out.
So what you find is Beatrice Arthur. She is a retired uh, retired politician who has spent most of her twilight years doing charity work. She has spent a lot of time making sure that the people who are in the displacement housing are able to get clean and get back to work if they need to. She helps with green with the arboretum museums to make sure that there is enough food. So she like puts her name behind stuff to get funding for the arboretums and the plant matter growth plants, if that makes sense. Factories, but they're growing things.
She sounds
Yeah.
too good.
She was a very outspoken person when she was in politics. Um, she had a group of very passionate followers that um, did a lot of things in her name, such as create panic through um, various broadcasts saying that the machinery that they've been developing was being controlled by space aliens, and a couple of other weird pranks that went a little too far and caused public panic. And so that's part of the
Um,
reason she got out of politics, because the people who were following her were doing stupid things. At least that's what she put in her resignation speech.
in any of these searches, like with the displacement housing or anything like that, does Do they find anything about Cain or Cameron?
No.
Okay. And does the Darknet say anything about her? Are there any forums talking about this Lady B, Beatrice, or even they'll broaden it and see if it says anything about Cameron or Cain?
So, there is like the myth of Cain, um, where he is the one you go to if absolutely somebody needs to disappear.
Whoops.
Cameron, you cannot find anywhere. With regards to Lady B, you do find a couple of forums that haven't been taken down yet. A couple of forum posts that say, "Need to find Lady B. I need to get out." And just as you go to expand it, the link says, error, link not found.
Okay. They'd quickly get out of there and start covering up
Mm-hmm.
IP addresses on different layers. Since... Interesting. Yeah, basically that's how they would spend their evening and night.
Do you reach out to Cain at any point?
Yeah, they would send like a little meme. It's basically like this billboard that like has this vacation sign on it that says "Need to disappear."
Oh no. And it's a billboard for Hamza's Game Palace. About those experiential pods.
I'll reply, my reputation precedes me. Is this who I think it is?
I don't know. They like basically text in memes and they like send like that really confused face and they're like, "Who dis?"
And I'll take that as a yes. I'll set the phone down and rub the bridge of my nose for a second. Cain suddenly feeling too old for this line
Where's
of work.
Brian when you need him?
Yeah, this is what I would usually delegate this to Brian, but here we are. I've already been called about contacting Tweak, however, right? I'm gonna call Tweak.
Do you answer? You see Cain's
Who
calling
calls
you.
anymore?
Hmm?
Yeah, you'll notice that it rings slightly longer and it's actually like going through different like encryption processes before they finally answer.
So there's like, it rings in one tone, and then the next ring is in a slightly different tone, and then the next ring is in a slightly different tone, a different tone, different tone, and then Tweak picks up.
Yellow.
Show off. It's Cain speaking. It appears we have a job.
A paying job?
Sounds like it.
That was quick.
I'm sending you a location. Meet us there.
Send it to this number and they'll kind of read off a string. And you're paying.
Sure.
Bye.
And I'll hang up. Cheap ass.
Yep.
The next thing for me is to drink a couple of light beers and go to bed.
All right. And because that's all I've got for us tonight, this is where we're going to end it. I know it's short, but these sessions are supposed to be about 2 hours.
Oh, that's good.
Everybody doing okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Cain's ready.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's known for just murking people. That's cool. That's
Well, you get called to make people go away.
yeah, that's true. I need to make my infamy go away.
Yeah, well, you're only infamous on the darknet. And you play around. I think part of it is because it is canon that you play around on the darknet, and that's where you get a lot of your jobs. So you may have built up your own hype.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He makes posts about himself. Oh my gosh, did you hear about this one guy? And then on another account, yeah, that guy is so awesome. And
Yeah.
Twig's like, you forgot to change your username between the comments and
I
replies.
know.
Oh,
Awkward.
awkward. Well, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Static Dawn Silicon Zion. Our players for this session were Ian as Cain. He is also the director of the stream, and you can catch him here on Fridays alternately for Scion, Short Rest, and GMing our Sunday game of Pathfinder Age of Ashes. We have Sam as Tweak, and you can catch her here on alternate Mondays for Star Wars and now this game, as well as this Thursday we've got Relic. Is that correct?
Yes. Relic.
Yes,
Ooh.
fantastic. And Mr. Smith as Cameron. You can find him at IamMrSmith.com and also here on Sundays for Pathfinder Age of Ashes. I am Spence, your storyteller. You can see me here also on Sundays for Pathfinder Age of Ashes. And you can also follow me on my Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/Resonant Moon. Thanks again to Frenzy Kitty Games for the use of their game and art. Special thanks to Michael Gelfi for the music that he provides through his YouTube. Links will be provided in the show notes. We hope you enjoyed this game. Please consider following and subscribing to our channel. Join us again in 2 weeks for episode 3 of Silicon Zion, and then we will be moving to Saturdays starting in October.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to all of the weirdness that we can get up to. So thank you again. If you want to know more about Penny for a Tale, you can find us at pennyforatale.com. Thank you so much again, and good night.